So what happens when you ask a kid if $200,000 salary a year is enough? You already know what it is. Let's watch this.
You think $200,000 a year salary is a lot of money?
I mean, it's a lot, but I don't think as much as people make it out to be. I mean, you tell somebody I can go make $200,000 a year, they're like, man, you're gonna be living in this big mansion, you're gonna be having Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all this stuff. But really, I mean, what are you gonna buy with that?
Who says that? Right? Who says that once you make $200,000 a year, you get all those things? The only people you're gonna hear saying that are some broke people or people who just don't face reality. Because we all know $200,000 is a lot of money. Now let me explain this. Let me just really explain this because this young kid, obviously, his mind is just not there. He's a little delusional right now. When you make that amount of money, the key to that is this. What is your lifestyle like? If you have a minimum lifestyle, basic, nothing crazy, like a nice steady lifestyle, and you always live below your means, and you make $200,000, all that means is you're able to save and invest even more money, right? And you can get yourself a car, maybe buy it cash, or get a car, a nice decent car that you can have to get from point A to point B. But if you think about building wealth and you think about just doing things in life, getting financial freedom, traveling, doing whatever, then you know there's certain things that you have to say no to. Because in life, you could afford anything, but you can't afford everything. So you have to say to yourself, I don't need a Lamborghini, I don't need a mansion, I got a nice cozy house, I could save, I can invest, my life is balanced. That's what a $200,000 salary will give you. Now, obviously, it depends on where you live. California, New York, a little different story. But having a high salary just allows you to make some mistakes as well and fix those mistakes. You have that cushion. But when you don't make that much money and you're trying to live this fantasy life and you don't make $20,000, the lower it goes, the more you feel like you're drowning. And every little decision you make is extremely impactful. It's not the same though once you start making more. You start making more, you keep your lifestyle the same, that gap just increases. And that's just the whole key here. You can make $100,000 but live on $50,000, you're good. If you live off like $100,000 lifestyle, some people might think you're fancy, but you make $200,000, that's $100,000 gap you have right there. You see, that is just the key. And this young guy saying Ferrari and stuff like that, come on, man. $200,000 is a lot. That's not what this. It's a very small percentage of people in society that make $200,000. Let's keep it real.
I mean, you can probably get like a $500,000 house. You know, you can get a nice car, maybe like $60,000, maybe $80,000 car, but you're not gonna be living no crazy life. Heck, maybe not even a car that expensive. You're not gonna really be living that crazy.
Why would you think you need to live crazy? What is your definition of crazy? What's crazy? Balling, champagne popping, buying jewelry, expensive cars. Not everyone could afford that, man. Not everyone could afford that, especially if you make $200,000 a year, right? You could probably make, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not make $20,000 a year. You probably already knew that. But if I made, let's say, $500,000, $600,000, I would never buy a Ferrari. If I make $1,000,000, I'll never buy a Ferrari. Because there's other things in life that I care about more. I care about traveling. I care about leaving some wealth for my kids. I care about way more memories. That's my big thing. That's what I care about the most. Cars and fancy things. I don't care about that. I don't. Now, when I travel, I like to travel with some, luxurious. That's different. But I pick and choose my battles. And to think like $200,000 is supposed to be enough to give you this crazy lifestyle is not true. Now, you might be able to be honest with you, if you want to have a life of nothing but debt, then yeah, by all means, go ahead. But to just sit there and make it seem like $200,000 is not enough, come on. And that's just one person. Imagine if you're with someone else in the household, do an income that's making the same or less. Come on, man, you're really powerful. I'm telling you, these young kids, I don't know, man. They're going with extremely high expectations, and even though the expectations not met, and it's close, right? Let's say he starts his first job, he's making $100,000. That's a win. But you just have to have the principle and respect money and play the money game with investing and building wealth, not just buying things.
And that's without even having kids. If you have kids, you're gonna like probably $100,000 a year.
You just saw a guy make $200,000. He ain't got enough to buy peanuts at the Reds game. How you think he gonna save money up? That's the reality of America right now, man. That's a $200,000 salary, man.
Is this the advice is going to take from this guy? that said people can't buy peanuts in the Red Sox game. I mean, not Red Sox, in the Reds game or whatever game he said. Oh my Lord. You know, this is the thing with some of the stuff on social media that they're so delusional, man. They're so delusional. This is so delusional. Saying that, you can't buy peanuts. Come on, man. First of all, why you want to buy peanuts in a baseball game? That shit's gross. But second of all, yes, you can. And not even that, man. Really, there's no amount of money in the world that could just change your life if you just have poor money habits. If you have poor money habits and you want to just buy all this crap, then you're screwed. You could buy Lamborghini, like you said, everything else, and you still might not be able to buy peanuts. I don't know what's up with peanuts. I ain't buying peanuts in a baseball game. It's all about just your money habits and how you handle your money, man. That's it. Hands down. And to just like talk down to people. I don't even know who they're talking down to, because reality, the people who make $200,000 a year, they're not listening to this. They're like, all right, keep on thinking it's not enough. But it's stacking it up and doing, all the right things in their life. And now, once again, just because you make $200,000 doesn't mean you make the best financial decisions. It doesn't mean that you can make $1 million and not make a good financial decision. So simply by saying, oh, he makes $200,000, he's rich, he must know what he's doing. No, it's not the case. It's always the people, man. It's always the people that shock you that make less than $100,000 and they're millionaires by the age of 30. It's always those people. They make like 60,000, 70,000. Like, it can't be true. Nah, they're good. They don't have Ferraris, they have nothing fancy. They build, they save, and now they're in their 30s and they're in a job where they're like, you know what? I'm one meeting away of being like, F this and leaving. It's all about having the FU money, having that option to just leave that job because you don't want to be there no more. You want to deal with office politics, and you could take another job, start another business. That's the true meaning about money. Having $200,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but come on, it gives you a lot of opportunities.
And that's why if you coming out here and you working for somebody, you're going to stay broke for the next 40 years. When your health start to fail, they're going to tell you, as if though they were nice, we're going to let you retire.
This is the videos that drive me crazy when they talk bad about people who have a boss. And then these are the same people that hire people. It's like, yo, why would I want to work for someone like this if he's the one that's saying how horrible it is to work a 9 to 5 and our boss is going to tell you? How do you expect to get some loyal employees if he's talking down to him like this? There really is no need to have these videos just bashing people working 9 to 5. Some people like 9 to 5s and we need them. We need to have people that have an entrepreneur mindset, but also work a 9 to 5 and, tinker around and try working their businesses or maybe help you with your business. There's nothing wrong with having a boss. We all have a boss. Hands down. We all do. It don't matter if it's a customer or someone else that got more money than you that you need for your business. It doesn't matter. Your bank, if you owe them money, you're always going to have a boss. So let's stop this nonsense with you're gonna work for a boss for 40 years. Some people like working 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with it. But guys, drop a comment down below. Do you think $200,000 a year is enough? Or how much do you think really is a good amount of money where you can make things work if you had it? Drop a comment down below and let me know. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Peace.